Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see right behind me, this is the 2023 Toyota BZ4X. This is their full electric SUV. Let's talk about pricing here for the BZ4X. This is also the limited trim. Starting price is at $46,700. This one stickers for $50,582. If you guys are on the market for a Toyota, be sure to check out South Day Toyota and ask for Tony, and he will get you into your next vehicle. Looking at the exterior styling here for the BZ4X, Toyota, I think you did a really good job with the BZ4X. Me personally speaking, I'm not a big fan of electric vehicles when it comes to the exterior styling. Some manufacturers get a little too crazy when they design these vehicles. I know it's for aerodynamic purposes, but Toyota, you did a really good job with this BZ4X, especially for this being an actual SUV. I can see some RAV4 design cues here and there from this vehicle, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the BZ4X. But looking at these headlights here, these come standard on all models of the BZ4X, which is full LED headlights with an LED turn signal and daytime running light. This area right here is going to be functional to push air around the vehicle, of course, for aerodynamic purposes. I like the nice white and black contrast. There's front parking sensors, and it doesn't need a large grille here because it doesn't have a combustion engine, but it does have this area down here which is going to feed air to the battery pack if it needs to be cooled. There's some silver trim here, even connecting the actual headlights together there. And there's the Toyota logo on top of the hood, which it does not have the blue accented trim. Toyota's eliminating that blue trim from their vehicles. That's a facing camera here because this has the 360 camera. But let me know in the comment section once again what you guys think about the BZ4X. But looking at the side profile, this has a 112.2 inch wheelbase with an overall length of 184.2 inches. So really good dimensions for this to be an SUV. Looking at these tires and wheels here, these are a 235/50 Bridgestone tire. They're wrapped in this 20-inch rim design with this silver, gray, and gloss black finish with the multi-spoke wheel design here. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about these wheels. Me personally, I like the way that they look, and once again, it does have the nice black and white contrast. I like the gloss black fenders here, and down here is going to be non-painted cladding there, as you guys can see at the lower part of the rocker panel. This is gloss black mirror cap. There's some chrome trim with this two-tone roof here, and this has a large panoramic sunroof here, but sadly you cannot open it. You can only open up the shade if you guys want light to come into the actual cabin, which me personally I recommend because this has a black interior. But making our way towards the rear of the vehicle here, this is nicely integrated rear spoiler here, and you guys notice there's no rear wiper here, but there's these nice spoiler here with this little vortex generators up top right there. This also has that shark fan antenna. It says limited. There's Toyota badge and the BZ4X badge is there. There's rear parking sensors with this non-painted rear bumper. But looking down here, there's no visible exhaust trim because this is a full-on electric vehicle. The taillights here are going to be a full LED as well, which is a turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. Open up the cargo back here. This has a power opening tailgate. Once it opens up, it reveals 27.7 cubic feet of space. This vehicle is pretty wide across, guys. If you guys are looking to put items across, this has a JBL sound system with these grocery hooks back here. And underneath the load floor, Toyota does give you some underfloor storage. Also, that's where the mobile charger lives, and there's this tonneau cover here if you guys are looking to hide your items. And sadly, I do not have final cargo spec numbers with the seats folded down, but you guys can reach over here to fold the seats down, and as you guys can see, also it does have tons of cargo space once you let down the rear seats. Looking at the interior of the Toyota BZ4X, this interior is very well laid out. I love this massive display here. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It runs their newer Toyota interface, which is really nice. Once again, it does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This does have the JBL sound system, which sounds pretty good. One portion of this vehicle that I say I do not like is this portion here, which is the steering wheel design. I'm not a big fan of it, and I don't like that this is kind of like a heads-up display, which is smaller. It's like a 7 or so inch display here. We'll talk about that once I turn on the electronics. The materials here on the door panel will be a nice soft touch material. There's some gloss black and silver trim here. There's your mirror adjustment controls. Your window controls are here, which feel very high quality. There's this black painted door handle. It's going to be nicely padded here. There's storage and cup holder space here. Once again, this has the JBL sound system. There's your automatic high beam switch, trunk release, and there's your hood latch here. But shutting the door and starting up the vehicle, press the power button here. And once you guys do that, everything will turn on, because keep in mind, this is a full-on electric vehicle. And personally speaking, guys, from this view here, you guys can't even really see the screen. So you have to adjust the steering wheel, which you cannot make it go any higher. You can only make it go lower. So me personally, Toyota, I think you should fix that, hopefully for the next refresh of the BZ4X. you guys will rectify that. And you guys can see this is kind of like a heads-up display, personally speaking, because it shows you different stuff like your driver assistance. You can also customize it, show your audio settings, your adaptive cruise control, which this vehicle has their newer Toyota 3.0 system. And it does show your charge time and so forth. But looking here, there's your driver's assistance tech. Like I mentioned, this is their 3.0 system. There's the Toyota logo here on the airbag cover. But once again, guys, I'm not a big fan of the steering wheel. There's your typical Toyota switchgear in this vehicle, which is the wind wiper. The headlight and turn signal stock is here, which feels high quality as well. There's some fabric-like material here around the air vents. And I like the nice portion here on the actual upper part of the dashboard. More of that fabric is continued onto the actual dashboard, and you guys can see it does start up the Apple CarPlay very quickly here. Very large screen. I think it's like a 14.4 inch display. I think it's the same size as the new Tundra, if I'm not mistaken. There's your controls here for the 3-level heated seats, heated steering wheel function. You guys are wondering, what the heck is this button here? It will blow hot air from underneath here to keep your knees and legs and stuff warm and so forth. The passenger also gets that as well, because guess what, there's no glove box. So if you guys love to store things in your vehicle, you guys will have to find a different route in order to do that. There's there's 2 USB ports underneath here. There's a 12 volt, and there's the owner's manual right here, because once again, there's no glove box to put it in. And it is also finished with some fabric like material. This also offers dual climate control, 3-level heated seats, a heated steering wheel function like I showed you guys. Looking at the Toyota interface here, which is their newer interface, which is really nice. I love the way this looks. I actually own a 2023 Toyota Corolla SE Hybrid, and it does offer the same interface there, but it doesn't offer this massive screen, of course, because that would be too big for the Corolla. But putting the vehicle into reverse, just press down on this ring and switch over to the left, and it does show you a top-down view. There's trajectory with distance markers, that's front and rear parking sensors, and you guys can make it a wide angle or closer angle. Me personally, I just leave it on the wide angle. And it does have rear cross traffic alert. Pushing it down to go into neutral. Over to the right, now the vehicle is in drive, and you press P for park. There's an eco mode here, snow mode. You can press this button here. It shows you around the vehicle, which is a perimeter scan. Toyota did upgrade. They did upgrade the graphics on the perimeter scan, so it shows more clearly. There's your traction control, auto hold, electronic parking brake, and this is for the 1-pedal drive, but it does not make the vehicle come to a complete stop like a Tesla. And you guys are wondering, where is my phone? You press this portion there, and you guys can see I'm right there. But now you guys can see through here, which is super clean and really nice. Like, so if someone texts you and you can't see it, you can just see it right through this portion there. This is the current key fob for the BZ4X. It has a lock, unlock, a trunk release. You can open the AC. There's a panic button, and there's your Toyota logo at the lower part of the key fob. It doesn't say BZ4X on the back of the key, but there's 2 cup holders here. The materials are gonna be pretty decent. There's air vents here, which are hazard button there. And this also slides forward and back. Let me remove my water bottle real quick. As you guys can see, it does slide pretty close to closing this area off. And you can also lift this up to reveal your center armrest, which has a good amount of storage, but once again, there is no glove box. The seats in here, they're supportive and comfortable. I like the way that they look and feel. They're 3-level heated and cooled seats. Above me, it's going to be LED lights throughout the cabin. This has this auto dimming mirror. I have that digital rear camera mirror. I'm not sure if you guys can get that as an option, but that would be nice if Toyota offers that. But above me, there's this panoramic sunroof here. Sadly, it does not open, but it does let light into the actual interior if you guys open the shade. But this black bar eats into the visibility if you guys are look up. But overall, the interior of the BZ4X is really nice. I like the nice tech-rich interior, but I'm just not a fan of this going on here, and that this vehicle is lacking a glove compartment. Let's take a look at the interior of the BZ4X. Open up the rear door here. This vehicle does offer tons of interior space, so you guys can sit 3 people across in comfort. Looking at the door panel materials, it's gonna be a soft touch material. There's this black painted door handle with some gloss black trim. There's some silver trim here as well. There's some storage and cup holder space here. It's gonna be nicely padded here. This vehicle does offer 8.1 inches of ground clearance, so you guys can just get inside this vehicle because it does offer a good step in height. But getting inside here and getting comfortable back here, there's no foot space underneath the driver's seat. This is where I have the seat to drive. Toyota says this has 35.2 inches of legroom space. There is storage back here for 2 mat pockets. There's 3-level heated seats here. There's 2 USB charging ports, and there's rear air vents here. The floor back here is completely flat. and the seats are very supportive and comfortable. They do have a recline feature as well, so if you guys want to get comfortable. And above me, there's the lights throughout the interior with this panoramic sunroof here, but sadly it does not open. There's this black portion here which kind of eats into the actual visibility. And Toyota does throw in some storage here with 2 cup holders. But overall, the back seat of the BZ4X does feel comfortable, but keep in mind, if you're over 6 feet tall, your head is going to be very cramped against the ceiling. As you guys can see here, I already have the hood open here for the BZ4X, and sadly guys, this vehicle does not offer a frunk. You can see the components here for this electric vehicle. This uses a single electric motor which produces 201 horsepower and 196 pound-feet of torque. As this vehicle sits here with front wheel drive, it weighs in at 4,300 pounds, and this uses a 71.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. And Toyota says on a full charge, this vehicle will go 242 miles on a single charge. But making our way towards the charge door here, on a DC fast option, which is a 150 kilowatt, this vehicle can go from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes. If you guys use a 240 volt, it will take 11 hours to charge. Starting off in the BZ4X here, guys, this is Toyota's full-on electric vehicle. This uses the company's 71.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, and this makes 201 horsepower and 196 pound-feet of torque. If you guys go for all-wheel drive, that will boost up the horsepower and the actual torque if you guys go for the all-wheel drive model, but this does come standard with front-wheel drive. Let's talk about the charge time for this vehicle. With if you guys want to charge this vehicle with the DC fast, from 10 to 80%, that would take about 30 minutes. But if you guys use a 240 volt, that will take 11 hours. So it does basically make the charging time longer if you guys use a 240 volt or even a 120 volt. Personally speaking, if I were to purchase this vehicle, I would be DC fast charging this car if I need to get a lot of range in a short period of time. But this vehicle is front wheel drive. And it's pretty quick, 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds. But once you guys are already up to speed, it's even faster instead of being at a dead stop. And this vehicle will let you know when you're cutting power, because it will switch on the actual traction light. But the charge time, it's not bad, guys. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad charging times. Visibility wise, great visibility, but right here, this portion here is kind of throwing me off because I can see over the steering wheel. I'm not sure what Toyota's gonna do for the refresh model, because if I lower the steering wheel here, can I call you back in 1 second?
Okay.
If Toyota lowers the steering wheel here, you can see the display, but from the camera standpoint, like I showed you guys, it's going to be very difficult. So me personally, I like to have the steering wheel up, but I'm not used to this. But if you guys become an owner of this vehicle, I'm pretty sure you guys will adapt over time. This does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's also 3-level heated seats here. The cool seats blow very cold air. This morning I had the heated seats on because it was extremely cold this morning because it was raining and so forth. But the heated seats were pretty good as well. Also the heated steering wheel, so I did have to use those two at the same time. This also has a JBL sound system. The materials in this vehicle are pretty good materials in this vehicle. I love that you can see my phone through here, so I don't have to physically pick up the phone and so forth. There's some storage down here. This vehicle does lack a glove compartment, sadly. And there's these nice seats here. But this vehicle is pretty quick for what it is. Like I mentioned, 201 horsepower. And a lot of people will look at this vehicle because they're trying to figure out what the hell is it. Me personally speaking, I actually am not a big fan of electric cars when it comes to their exterior styling. The tech department, really good tech department because it's an electric vehicle. But I want to say I actually like the BZ4X. But let's come to a stop here, and I'm going to leave the traction on because I don't want to do a front burnout. But let's just floor it from a stop. Oh, is cutting the power there. And this thing is pretty damn quick. Like, guys, this thing will literally put a smile on your face. I'm telling you, the BZ4X is a pretty good electric vehicle. It's just right on par like a RAV4. So you get the Prius design like cues and so forth, but you get the RAV hybrid or prime like efficiency, of course, but beefed up. So I want to say it's a Prius and a RAV4 together because it does have its pros and it has its cons, of course. But me personally speaking, this vehicle does offer nice exterior design cues, even though it's a full-on EV. which I have nothing against electric vehicles, but at the same time, some manufacturers, they do go a little crazy when it comes to exterior stylings with electric vehicles and so forth. But I like the BZ4X. I like that it's pretty capable when it comes to charging. On a full charge, guys, this vehicle will get nearly 300 miles on a full charge at 242 miles of range. But keep in mind, the charge time is going to be down compared to some other competitors if you guys are looking to charge at a faster rate. But that being said, the BZ4X, once again, I like it. I like the technology. I like the driver assistance tech. I'm just not a big fan of not having a glove compartment or this heads-up display like thing in the steering wheel. That's kind of three big selling factors for me that I don't really care for, which is this futuristic steering wheel, this somewhat of a heads-up display, and that this vehicle lacks a glove compartment. After spending time with the 2023 Toyota BZ4X, I'm a big fan of the exterior styling, believe it or not. You guys know I'm not a big fan when it comes to electric vehicles when they look just too futuristic, but the BZ4X does offer really good design cues here, especially with the white and black contrast. This vehicle does lack a glove compartment. If you guys like to store things in your vehicle, you guys sadly cannot do it with the BZ4X because it eliminates the actual glove compartment, but this vehicle does offer really good driver's assistance tech, great technology. With that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this full review here on the 2023 BZ4X. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at DriveOnReviews. Hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications, and I will see you all in the next video.